Good morning YouTube and the internet. Today, fitting the dash cam in the Falcon. Let's go. Okay, time to put the camera in. You come in here with me. Let's open the box. I've sort of already recorded some box opening things, but I'll open it now. Instructions, warranty card, camera, accessories, mount, cable, and cable. So this is the data transfer cable. It doesn't get installed in the car. Transferring the files. This goes into the car. So what they've done here is they've put the cable terminal here, and then through the body it hardwires into the camera there. If we get the camera out, you can see there, so it's got 4 pins. And in theory that should just slide in like that. That seems to have worked. Now as far as setting up the angle on this, that's the suction. Oh, okay, it's just a forceful. There's 2 screws in the front in here, which you could probably use to loosen this ball connection, but I haven't bothered. And we'll go that way, like so. Let's get our angle about right, and we're going to put it just up here, and that way it's not in the driver's view, because I don't want to be able to see the screen or anything when I'm driving. All I want to be able to do is record what's happening when I'm driving. Maybe I'll put it there. Left side. Left side's the way forward. So it maybe should have come with like an alcohol wipe to clean the glass. Doesn't look like it. We have more instructions. We have cleaned the glass anyway with microfiber cloth. Do another quick rub. There's like sunglasses cleaning thingy. Super fine. I reckon it'll be okay. So I'm going to try and put it. This is like this black anti-glare thing. I'm going to try and put it on that. It may not work. If it doesn't, I'm not too worried, because yeah, that's the suction thing. Because I can just put it below it. Is that tacky? No. Some of these I put it like a tacky thing on there to make it easy to fit first time. Fine. Stay clear of the mirror itself. Just slam it in like that, and then we just adjust our angles. Excellent, that easy. So here we've got a massively long cable, and we can connect straight to it rather than through that connection that they provided. However, it's going to be a better way to go. Up there. So down? Yep. So just for the time being, I'm going to run it over this sun visor. And let's see if we can go and tuck it in around the pillar without having to remove anything. When I've tested it and make sure it all works and that, I'll probably tuck it into the roof liner trim. So, see, that's just rubber, so I'm going to go with that. If I can just get it under that. Yep. Like so. There we go. Tuck it in behind that door seal trim. Now, do I go straight across in front of the dash here, because we're going to get down to this lighter point, or do we go across the floor? I think we might go across the floor. I'm assuming I've got enough length. So just continuing to tuck this in. You can see where the door hits. I'm not going in that far. Just pushing it in far enough to hold it. It's getting a bit stuck there. There we go. Ow. Fingernails aren't made for that. Always use the right tool for the job. You know, isn't a pen. Maybe a different pen will work better. It's a bit fatter. Come on. Try two incorrect tools simultaneously. Think that'll work? Just, are you too good for your home? Go home. Got him. Okay, so ensuring that I can open and close the glove box. Yep, there we go. Let's do that. Awesome. Let's take that out, put that in there. She's in. Just tuck that under there. So the passenger's feet aren't wrapped up in it. Here we go. Professional Hasbro. So obviously a better option is to run it underneath the liner here, but that's a slightly longer job. So probably going to need the instructions to figure out where the on switch is. It says to charge it for 2 hours before first use, which I haven't done. But having said that, turning the ignition on, it powered on straight away of its own accord. So I've turned the ignition off to insert the SD card. Let's hope this is the right way. Can you see that whole top? Oh, it gets the other way. Just needed to get it in further. Okay, we have power, something, M, and what looks like a record button there. Turn our ignition on one switch. It's firing up. It says please insert SD card, which is less than ideal, because I just did. Let's hit the record button and see what it does. SD card error. Please format card. Format card. Well, that's less than ideal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it. I did see that this may not have accepted a 64 gig card, but I wanted to try it because I'd rather have the bigger storage on it. But yeah, it says from 8 to 32 right here. So what I've got, oh, hang on. If you're using a 64 meg micro SD, please format it to FAT32 on computer first. Search online how to do it. Right, I'm not doing that. So what I've discovered is I already had a 64 gig SD card in that camera, and I thought I had a 32. So I can't really can't finish the job. But what I'll do is see if I can work out. Yeah. What's an SD card? Settings. That's the power switch. Okay, power works. The important thing is how it records, that it records in a good definition with good sound, good audio quality, which I can't really test. It's all in Chinese. This side's all English. Manually pause, restart the recording by pressing the confirm button. Settings menu. So the top left button is the menu settings. Over here. So record setup, system setup, GPS setup, files. So there's a touch screen an option, negative. So if I press that again, it does nothing. So there's buttons on the side, looks like for up and down. System setup. I wonder what the OK button is. I'm going to go with the record button, and that's worked. Language, English. Format. All data will be deleted. Cancel. Time and date. What is it? It's the 18th. Time. Day, year, day, month, year. Which is the correct way to display a date. Not like the Americans. Do it all else about. Auto LCD off. Oh, that turns the screen off automatically. Device sound. Use non-auto power off. Frequency. System info. Default settings. Okay. So we've got the date and time set up. Press menu, goes back. GPS setup. Let's have a look at that. GPS setup. On. Okay. Speed unit. Kilometers per hour. On. Back. Files, there will be none. Okay. So, if we turn this off, turn it off. So now we're set up, we are ready to go. We're just short. It's probably going to die because there's no power. Yep, it hasn't charged yet. Go back up there, plug that in there, and I'll go inside and see if I can find a 32 gig SD card anywhere in the house. I did read that about these. They didn't take a 64, but 64 is all I've got. So let's see if I can find some old antiquated technology. I looked in my old camera, it's gone. It's not in there. So I need to find something else that takes SD cards with 32 gig in it and steal that. Picked up a 32 gig SD card. Let's see how it goes. When I got in the car this morning, the suction cup had disconnected. However, I have got it on the slightly dimpled black surface, sort of sun reflective thing behind the mirror, so that may not be its fault. Yeah, I put the SD card in last night, so I have looked at a little bit of footage from it, but I still had the small, the plastic like lens protector stuff, the clear plastic that comes on those things. That was still on it, so it's difficult to make any sort of determination as to the video quality offered by it. It says 1440p. I'm not exactly confident that that's going to be the case. I couldn't get the GPS, well, I had the GPS unit set on to track speed and display speed, but it didn't work yesterday. I went back through the settings and turned it off and on again, so we'll see if it works today. But that's it for now, unless something interesting happens. I'll cut back to another camera shot doing something useful, I imagine.
Fiona, off the record, more scared than you are of me on Triple J. With Ben and Lamb this morning,
Sick
and just after 8
bro.
o'clock, we're going to be...
Triple J. Hey, Emily.
Fuck.
Cheryl.
Yeah, I'm
You're listening.
Well, that just happened. Well, when I climbed into the car, the camera was hanging by the cable again, so the suction cup doesn't seem to be much chop. It was a warm day, would have expanded a fair bit, but it just needs to go in a car, so it should be good for that. However, I have put it on now while it's hot. Possibly it'll stay on, having been put on hot. Guess we'll find out later.
Three of us, and we'll find the winner after the news. Pay out some of them as well.
Yeah, there's actually so many. I'm not 100% sure how we'll go, but if you missed that, this little gap.
You've made your commitment now, mate.
A lot of people think they nailed it.
The chief executive of Oxfam Australia admits morale of the charity has hit rock bottom as Oxfam executives in the UK face British MPs to answer questions about the ongoing scandal involving members of its staff in Haiti. 7 Oxfam workers have been fired or resigned after allegations of sexual misconduct and bullying while they were working in the aftermath of the 2010 earthquake. The organisation says the scandal has resulted in the loss of donations locally, but
Well, YouTube and the internet. I've included a couple of snippets of footage from the dash cam in the video. I wouldn't recommend buying that camera. I don't think that footage is 1440p. It's just too grainy. I'm not even sure it's 1080p. For $90, the base model one, if it records at about the same level, is probably worthwhile. But for $140, for the one I accidentally ordered, I don't think it's worth it. The suction cup came off 4 or 5 times in the first couple of days. The speedo readout doesn't work. It just plain doesn't work. I've gone through the settings, I've checked it all. It won't work. So that's, you know, some people might choose not to have that, but if it's a function on the camera, it should work. And if I want to turn it off, I can turn it off. But yeah, I recommend not buying that camera. At $140 price point, I'd probably look at something else. At the $90 price point for the base model one, which probably records just as well, that's a different story, and that's what I was looking to do originally, before I pressed the wrong button on the order and ordered that friggin' thing instead of the base model one. So yeah, obviously there's many dash cams out there. I haven't used any before, but I've seen footage from other cams and they look substantially better in that price range. So I do some research and look at some other options rather than buying that one. I've got it now. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to keep it. But when I buy the next one for the 300 and a rear-facing one for the Falcon, I'll look at different cameras as opposed to that one, and if I get a better one, maybe I'll use that one as the rear-facing camera in the Falcon. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy your day.